Hi there. Just want to make sure I'm on and everybody can see me. Somebody type in and tell me you can see me. Ah, Connie. Connie! Oh my God, hi. Hey girl, thanks. Thanks for coming in. Well, hi. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. All right. Well, I'm just going to start, and I'm blind as a bat, so you're going to see me put my glasses on and off. And Connie, you know that from working with me. All right. Oh, here we go. I think I'm going to wait a few more minutes. We got some other. Hello, Miss Lola. Love you. It's coming. Put my glasses back on. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Connie, I can see you. Thank you. Love you guys. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and start. Oh, gosh. Now people are coming on. I'm loving it. All right. Glasses are going to go on and off, like I said, because I'm blind as a bat. All right. Here we go. Well, hi there. I'm Chiquita Jameson, sales coach, speaker, and best-selling author, and I am really thrilled that you're here and that you've joined me this evening. So just get comfortable. I want you to sit back and tell me if you can relate to what I'm going to say. You know, I was thinking about how my husband and I sometimes communicate, and I was thinking back when we first started dating. Here's an example of what would sometimes happen between the two of us. You ready? Honey, what was the name of that guy in that movie we saw a couple of weeks ago? Honey, what guy? What movie? You know, the guy with the thing. No, I don't know. And you know what? He didn't. He had no idea what the heck I was talking about. But that was at the beginning of our relationship. Well, now, almost 20 years later, and now that we are more familiar with each other and we've learned how to communicate with each other, now our communication is something like this. Honey, what's the name of the movie with the guy in it who's got the, oh, that's Colin Firth. That was The King's Speech. See? He knows exactly what I'm thinking about. And that's because we took the time to communicate with each other so that we understand each other. But let's now move to the sales conversation. That's where we have some issues. Isn't it frustrating when you are having a conversation with a customer and you are so clear, you know exactly what you're saying without a doubt, not an issue, you know what you're saying, and they're looking at you and they've glazed over like a donut. They have no earthly idea what the heck you're talking about. And you just want to sit there and go, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you listening to me? Well, let me share the light with you. Try this on for size. They are listening to you. It's you that are the problem. Does that happen to you? Well, according to a woman by the name of Nozomi Morgan, in her article, it's called Take Responsibility for Being Understood in 3 Simple Steps. And what she says is, problems arise with communication when people expect everyone around them to see the world as they see it. In other words, they expect what's normal for them to be normal for everybody else. Well, it's not. And you know this. We're all different. We assimilate information differently in different ways. We speak at different speeds. So in a sales conversation, the first thing you need to do is you've got to figure out what is the personality type that I'm even working with here. How do they assimilate information? Well, you already know that, right? And there's lots of places that you can go to figure out how to communicate with someone. But I'm going to switch back a minute. I'm going to ask you to think about this, because in my mind, it's your mindset. If you are me centered, of course, the entire world revolves around you and you become frustrated. In your life, the entire world revolves around you in what I call Meville. And I'm telling you this or sharing this with you because that's how I was in the very beginning in my sales conversations. I would blame others because I would blame the customer because he couldn't understand what I was saying. I would become judgmental, and I was really good at playing the victim. The question is this you? Well, if it is, I want to share this with you. I really believe that successful communication is the responsibility of the person who initiates the communication. It's not their fault. If the person doesn't understand what you're saying, it's your fault. It is your responsibility to discover how to communicate the best way you can so that you can be understood. For example, I know I can relate to this back when in the beginning when I was selling. If you're a salesperson who does not, for example, take the time to review the contract with all the details, the terms, you're setting yourself up, folks, for an unavoidable customer service callbacks and customer dissatisfaction all the way around. You're setting the wrong expectations for the customer. And the performance, they're going to expect A and you're going to give them P. So they're going to look at things such as the billing is all of a sudden too high. It's not what they remembered. They're waiting to think that they're supposed to get delivery at such and such a time, and yet you think everything is fine. That's not their fault. That's your fault for not communicating correctly at the end of a sales conversation. So don't get so wrapped up in, oh my gosh, I've got this sale. Be grateful. Stop and make sure that you serve that customer in the best manner you possibly can. So yeah, our customers, they don't always listen as they should. We know that, but it's our responsibility to check in with them and see where the communication fell short. We don't want to disconnect and have something looming out there, because when a disconnect happens, it's generally due to our failure, which we know of, and this is what can happen. They're thinking one way, but they're thinking that the events that lead up to their delivery, that's in their mind, which is A. You're over here saying, no, that's not right. I never promised you that. The timeline, the payment for deliveries, the expectations for deliveries, your involvement as a customer service. Are you somebody who makes the sale, closes the account, and they never see you again? That's not serving the customer. And you're heading down a sad path if that's the case. But check in with your customers. Make sure that they answer questions so that you can make sure you're on the same track with them. And obviously, as I said before, you need to find out what is their personality. That's number one. And there's plenty of info to tell you of where to go to find that out. But I'm going to add 3 tips on top of that, because you already know that you need to pay attention to the personality types. Here you go. Tips to becoming an exceptional sales communicator. Number 1, you need to become a product and service expert in your field. If you don't know what your services and your products do well, you are just asking for hurt. You've got to know everything about your products and services so that when in the education part of your sales conversation, you can quickly explain it in a very easy way so the customer can understand it. You need to become fluid in explaining the features and benefits. That goes along with knowing your products and services. And what I highly recommend, and I can say this with all due respect, I did this myself. When I was just stumbling all over myself, I found 2 of the most successful salespeople in my company. I took them to coffee and I said, please, would you role play with me? I had sweat running down my back. I was so nervous, but I thought, by golly, I'm going to learn this and I'm going to become really good at this. Because how can I ask a customer to trust me if I don't trust myself to know what the heck I'm selling? So role play with a colleague who knows more than you do. Role play with a colleague who's always the top salesperson. Now you might learn, maybe you might not like some of the things that they do, but generally overall, they're going to have that product knowledge down. All right, so that was step 1, become a product and service expert. Memorize as well, everything. Memorize it, make it organic so it just comes right off your tongue. Number 2, get out of Meville. Get out of Meville. Accept that everyone has their own unique way of communicating. And when you do that and you take responsibility for your communications, the pressure is off of you. Instead of becoming frustrated and becoming the captain of the world, why don't you understand me? And you stop thinking about you and you focus on them, you can breathe a sigh of relief because they're in there with you. People, they want you. They want you to solve their problems. So work with them. Get out of Meville and focus on the customer. And also, understand that when you serve others in a genuine, wonderful way, you will be rewarded when it's your time and you're ready to receive that reward. And step number 3, again, take responsibility for the communication that you initiate. You are the one who's trying to communicate, so you're the one that has to figure out how to communicate with that person. You have to ask questions to make sure that they understand and that you understand what the two of you are talking about. When you own this, you become a strong communicator. When you become a strong communicator, you become confident. When you become confident, you can master the sales conversation because you know without a shadow of a doubt what your products and services do and how they can benefit. So obviously you're going to learn the different types of personalities. But the 3 tips to becoming an exceptional sales communicator is: number 1, become a product and service expert. Number 2, be sure to get out the heck out of Meville and focus on the customer. And 3, the most important, is take responsibility for your own communication. Even in your personal life, with your family, and watch what changes. So when you take responsibility for all communications, you are going to find that your customers are easier to work with. You're going to find that you're going to have less stress in your day. And by golly, you're going to find, I'm from the Midwest, by golly, what the heck. Your sales are going to increase. Now, who the heck doesn't want that? So try it and see for yourself. I did. I'm living proof, and I'll be darned it works. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. And I also want to let you know that on Thursday, this Thursday at 11 o'clock, I'm doing a webinar. And that webinar is on the secret to having a successful sales conversation every time. Be sure to join in because there's lots of great information. And it's based on my book, which is Don't Sell, Let Them Buy. Master the Sales Conversation and guide your customers to a successful outcome every time. And one last thing, I have a gift for you. Go to my website and download this. This is 19 pages of total gold. And what it is how to overcome objections and handle smoke screens and brush offs. A lot of great information, and I tell it like it is. So with that, thank you so much for joining me. And one last comment. Remember, wherever you go, there you are. Take care.